Assalamualikum OyaRahmatullahe OyaBarakatuhu. Innal hamdanillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Amma ba'd. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Muhammad Kamrul Hussain, Department of Business Administration, Metropolitan University, Sylhet. Welcome to my virtual classroom, MKA Classroom. Now let's start today's video tutorial. Today we will try to discuss the time value of money concept or types of time value of money concept. So this time value of money concept basically two types. One is future value, another is present value. This time value of money concept can be divided by two types, future value and present value. Now we can see what do we mean by future value and what do we mean by present value. Future value, whenever we try to determine the value of a amount in a future date, that is the future value. Suppose you have 100 taka today in your hand and you will deposit this 100 taka to your bank account, and your bank will provide you 5% rate of interest. What will happen this 100 taka after 5 years? After 5 years. That means after 5 years, what will be value of your this 100 taka is the future value. As like we can show it by the timeline. You have today 100 taka and after 5 years, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, what will happen to this amount? This 100 taka with the rate of interest is 5%. Actually this concept is called future value. In the same way, we will try to see present value. Present value. So present value, you have to determine today's value of a future amount. You have to determine today's value of a future amount, that is the present value. As like, for example, you are given 500 taka after 2 years. You are given 500 taka after 2 years. You are given 500 taka after 2 years. What will be value of this 500 taka today? Today, what is its value? That is the present value. So obviously there need a interest rate as like 5%. So, after 2 years you are given 500 taka, and you have to determine this 500 taka at a rate of 5% of today's value. This called the present value. Now, we can show it by an example with a timeline 0, 1 and 2. You are given 500 taka after 2 years with the rate of interest is 5%. So, what will be its value today? That means today's value. Today's value. This called the present value. Now, we will talk about the mechanisms of finding this present value and future value. Again, we will see time value of money and mechanisms. We will now discuss the mechanisms. So, one has future value, another is present value. We know it that the two types of concept, a present value and future value, and the mechanisms how we will find this future value is called compounding. That means compounding. The procedures how we find out this value is called compounding. The procedure. The procedure of finding this future value is called compounding, and the procedure of finding present value is called discounting. The procedure of finding this present value is called discounting. So, now it is clear that time value of money utilization, two types of mechanisms. One is called compounding mechanism, another is called discounting mechanisms. Mechanisms means here we have said that the procedure of finding these types of values. So, in the procedure of finding compounding, they are using a formula for finding this future value. Now, we will see future value formula. AV equal to PV 1 plus R power n. FV means future value, PV means present value, 1 plus R. R means rate of interest, n means number of period. So, this actually the formula for compounding formula. That means this is the mechanisms which we will use to find the future value. This is the mechanisms. FV equal to PV into 1 plus R power n. This is the mechanisms of finding future value. In the same way, we will see the discounting, the procedure of finding present value. So, here has a formula PV, present value, equal to FV divided by 1 plus R power n. This is the mechanisms which we will use to find present value, and this formula or this mechanism is called discounting. So, now it is very clear to that time value of money procedures or uses the mechanisms of compounding and discounting, and compounding actually is the mechanisms to find the future value, as well as discounting is the mechanisms to find the present value, and here has a formula. So, you have to know that this compounding and discounting procedures, we are using only procedure of calculator. Here has also another procedure, that is tabular procedure and financial calculator procedures. We are using in here very traditional method of finding time value of money or finding future value or present value. We are using in here traditional method, but you have to know that there has several methods of finding these types of values. Another one is tabular method, that we are not discussing here. We will use later one, tabular method, and financial calculator method. So, if we use this formula as a tabular format, this will be have that Pn. So, PV equal to future value into present value interest factor I, rate of interest, n, number of period, as like future value. So, this has a tabular value. You can find this in a table, then multiply with the future value, then you will get the required future value. But in this format that we are traditional method, there has also this value, tabular value. So, this portion actually shows the tabular format of $1. So, we are using $1, 1 plus R power n, So, I also use rate of interest, R also use rate of interest. So, do not worry, it is everything. So, this actually we will find the value of $1, that is the tabular value. In the same way, 1 divided by 1 plus R power n, that is the tabular value, present value, tabular value, that is 1 into 1 plus 1 into 1 plus R power n, that is the $1. So, here is the $1 value. So, this will show actually in tabular format. So, now we will see the future value procedure has using the compounding procedure, and rate of interest is called compound interest. Compound interest. And for the present value, here we see the discounting procedure is the discounting, and use the discount interest rate or discount interest or discount rate. So, what's our interest rate, but whenever we use the mechanism, then this has the several names. One is compound interest, another is discount interest. That is, whenever the rate of interest is using to find out the present value, that is the discount interest rate. In the same way, the interest rate which we are going to use the finding the future value, it is called the compound interest rate. So, compound value or future value or compound interest rate, there is another name, that is the terminal value. Terminal value. Terminal value. Terminal value. So, now we are discussing. So, we are discussing today the mechanisms of time value of money. Here we said concept, time value of money concept are two types, present value and future value. And these future value and present value concept using the mechanisms discounting and compounding mechanisms, and here has the formula, and also this compounding interest rate is called compound interest rate, or this future value is called terminal value, and present value, that is using discounting process, this rate of interest is called discount interest rate. This all about today. Stay home, stay safe, try to maintain a safe social distance, try to wash your hands frequently in a day. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaika. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuhu.